Board of Education February 12th meeting to order. If we could stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Swab.
Here.
Mrs. Brewer.
Here.
Mr. Biesecker.
Here.
Mr. Manuel.
Here.
Mrs. Hill.
Here.
I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening. And the first item we have is to approve our agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I move to approve.
Maria moves to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Scott. Roll call for approval.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Do you want me to
Mrs.
approve?
Hill, Mrs. Hill.
Did I?
I think that's gonna be the theme, right?
Guess I'll be the last of the
This
hills,
would be
right?
Daniel. The first one was right.
Yeah, Dr. Swab.
Dr. Swab, I was.
I approve. Next is item C, which is approving organizational as well as the regular minutes from our meeting on January the 8th. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Thanks, Sally and Trey. Any other discussion? If none, roll call for approval.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes. Next is item D on our agenda is a student spotlight. So I'd like to turn the meeting over to our administrative team. Bob?
We're going to start with the elementary. And our first person is Vivian Phillips. Vivian was nominated by Mrs. Griffin. And this is what Mrs. Griffin had to say. Vivian is currently a third grader at Bradford Elementary. Outside of school, she enjoys playing basketball and dancing. She also likes doing gymnastics. I have nominated Vivian for this month's Student Spotlight because she embodies what it means to be Bradford's best. Vivian always comes to class with a positive attitude and a desire to learn. She's a great leader and follows decisions and rules without any reminders or complaints. Vivian is kind and helpful in class and to her classmates. She always comes prepared and ready to learn. Her dedication to learning is inspiring and makes her a great role model for our class. She is continuously striving to reach her goals, and her academic growth is a representation of her hard work. She is constantly pushing herself to do better and to become the best she can be. I know she will continue to be successful not only in school but throughout life, and I look forward to seeing her future accomplishments. Great job, Vivian, and congratulations. You're welcome. And our next student of the month is Bella Yoli. Come on down, Bella. And she was nominated by Mrs. Fry. Bella Yoli is currently a third grade student at Bradford Elementary. She enjoys arts and crafts along with spending time with her family. I have nominated Bella for this month's Student Spotlight because of her dedication to learning and her exemplary behavior. Bella gives 110% on every assignment she completes. Even when the work becomes difficult, Bella strives to do her best and never doubts her abilities. Her positive attitude is truly inspiring and her support for others is top notch. I can always count on her to help with jobs in the classroom or motivate others with her contagious smile. Her hard work and kindness makes a difference every day. I have no doubt that Bella will continue to thrive as she helps to make our school a more positive environment. Great job, Bella, and congratulations. And for our junior high and high school, our first nomination is for Nick Luce. Come on down, Nick. And he was nominated by Mrs. Fulcher-Fair, and this is what she had to say about Nick. I would like to nominate Nick Lewis as this month's Student Spotlight. Nick is an 8th grade student and the son of Christy Green and Harold Lewis. Nick is a good friend to everyone and is always eager to help out around the school and in the classroom. He has shown a lot of maturity and growth this school year, both socially and academically. Nick puts forth a good effort to always be on time to class, participate in class discussions and activities, and complete all of his assignments in a timely manner. Nick is involved in football and basketball, and he's always positive and encouraging to his classmates and teammates. Nick represents our school really well and shows what it means to be a Bradford River. Great job. Congratulations. And for our next, Adam Rush, who's nominated by Mrs. Jinks, and I'll let Mrs. Jinks.
All right, I am nominating Adam Rush as this month's Bradford Board of Education Student Spotlight. Adam enters the classroom every day with a positive attitude and eagerness to learn. I can count on Adam for a variety of things: a daily Nintendo Switch gaming update, high quality completion of assignments, and being helpful and responsible. Adam is quiet in the classroom, but doesn't shy away from asking questions when he has them. Adam takes his time on his assignments, which provides high quality work. He never complains about the complexity of the assignments or having to complete them in study hall or at home. He is active in class discussions and has a great attitude. His positive attitude and dedication makes him a great role model for others. Great job, Adam, and congratulations.
Great. I'd like to thank the parents and students for coming to our meeting this evening. We can pause it for a few moments if they would like to have the opportunity to get home and get their evening started. You're welcome to stay if you'd like, but it's reasonably okay for you guys to head home and get your evening started. Thanks for coming.
All right, to start with junior high school, the first thing we had is National Honor Society induction. We had 4 students that were inducted into the National Honor Society: Leah Clark, Savannah Beechler, Lily Cannon, and Anthony Jessup. All 4 outstanding students, and show a lot of character, and we welcome them into our National Honor Society. This week has been a little bit of a crazy week. We are doing. Monica came to Michelle and I and wanted to do a heart healthy week, which is, I don't want to say it's geared towards elementary because there's some cool things for the junior high and high school students, but there is a lot of elementary type students with the games and things like that. The kids can get rewards. So we decided to take it one step further, which we're doing a canned food drive that we're going to donate to, I believe, the depot. And then different things. We had a guest speaker on Monday, started the canned food drive on Tuesday, and we included the teachers and the board office staff and everybody so that we could try to get as much healthy food as possible that we would be able to donate. Today, they had videos that they watched, just different fun facts and things like, one of them was your heart works harder than a sprinter during a race, which I didn't know. Dr. Swab, you may have known that, but I was pretty baffled by that your heart works harder than your legs would during a race. And then tomorrow we're going to have a 1-hour delay schedule for the junior high school, where we're going to do some activities with the kids, just try to get their heart rate up. And Monica's going to talk about the importance of nutrition and exercise and those things for our students this week. So it's been a little screwy, but at the same time, I think it's very important for our students as well, just to learn this at a younger age so that when they're my age, they won't have to worry about their heart as much. We did have the county spelling bee since the last time we met. Our 4 students did fantastic. Jack York, Tanner Pilkins, we had, I can't say his last name.
And Hunter Schrader.
So they represented Bradford very, very well, very proud of them. They made it through, each of them made it through quite a few rounds before they were unfortunately out, but I am always constantly amazed when we go to this, the amount of words that they can actually spell and do well on, because I definitely could not have.
Nice luck of the words you get too.
Yes, yes, it is.
This is just in the 5th grade. We are the shift, this grade, Negro League Baseball. They had a little party and had like, the book that they were getting ready to read, like have a taste of the book beforehand. And it's one of our books from the Wit and Wisdom reading series that we use. And they were pretty excited about all of it, the reading they're gonna be able to do with that. They also were doing a writing persuasive piece in the 5th grade. To bug or not to bug is what I named this, but they got to taste bugs. So they had 3 articles they had to read about bugs, and then they tasted actual bugs to try to persuade people to the reason why you should eat bugs. So Mrs. Unthank there's actual flour you get on Amazon that's made out of bugs. There's made chocolate chip cookies out of those. And then she had like the little mealworms that were really nothing but the skeleton left, because I went down and tasted everything, but it kind of just tastes like the seasoning they put on it. Just because it was something that made them have to step out of their comfort zone. They won't have to eat it. They were like gagging some of them so they didn't taste it. But it was kind of a neat experience just to see them step out of the comfort zone of them. And they did like the cookies. Many of them did not like the actual, like you said, why? But they didn't actually like the bugs. But it should be interesting to see the writings that they have when this is all said and done. But if you're looking for any bugs to eat, they're available on Amazon. Elementary cheer night was this past Saturday. We had a huge turnout. They did a great job. It's always good to see the girls go out and cheer. We see those future cheerleaders out there. And it was nice to see the 2 high school cheerleaders as well showing support. And it looked like they were having a good time.
We had 66 cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Amazing turnout.
And they made it a lot better where it's on a Saturday practice and then they go and perform. Today was 100th day of school, so we have hip hip parade. Today is 100th day for Bradford. The kindergarten dress up like they're 100 years old. We've got teachers, we've got students. This little guy right here has eyebrows that were about this thick. And I said, did those grow overnight? And they were like, thought I was being serious about some of the things that how they were dressed up. And this little girl, she will get an Academy Award one day because she had a cane and she was talking to me all hunched over like, hello, Mrs. Lady. So she was really cute too. So it was just a good time to see them. And then they did 100-day activities where they were doing Fruit Loop necklaces there, counting in groups of 10 and then putting them in a necklace. And now we have upcoming events, and I'll let Mr. Barr take over because he got this all put together.
Well, we've got some dates coming up, the big ones for out in the community. No school for students on Friday, and then on Monday, there's no students for President's Day. We do have a blood drive next week, in 2 weeks, and kindergarten enrollment is the week of 3/3 through 3/7, and then the screening will actually take place here in the building on 3/11. And then the next board meeting is next month. Athletics starting to wind down. Unfortunately, our girls got beat last night, so their season is over with. Our 7th grade boys are still in the tournament. They play Ansonia tomorrow, I believe. And then senior night for our boys is on Friday, and then they finish up their regular season on the 25th, which is Saturday. And then Southeastern is our tournament game at Piqua, which will be next Friday. And powerlifting, our big meet is on the 22nd with a pancake breakfast.
Yes.
Sponsored by the Lions Club.
And the boosters.
And the boosters.
If you get a chance, I just have something else to say. The Wellness Week, all the teachers at the elementary did theirs to make your heart healthier. And it's been neat to have the kids talk about what a real heart looks like. So if you get a chance to make it down that hallway, take a look at those bulletin boards. One little boy is so he's just so interested in the heart. He's like, now that's a stuffed heart, but it's really what the real heart looks like. So it's just neat if you get a chance to walk down and take a look at those bulletin boards. Do you have any questions for us? Okay.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay, I'll try to shorten mine up just a little bit. I would like to say congratulations to Maria for earning the STAR Award through the Ohio School Boards Association. 71 out of more than 3,400 board members in the state of Ohio are being recognized, so I think it's pretty cool. Greenhouse project, we have met with the engineer once again this week to translate some more information and get some things moving. You'll see a motion on today's agenda to advertise for bids coming up. As soon as those numbers and things come back from our engineer, we'll be able to start advertising for that, get the bids and start putting shovels in the ground soon after. Calamity Day makeups. This is one I'm embarrassed to talk about tonight. When we originally had day 5 finish up Thursday last week, that was our 5th day of Calamity Days. I looked at the schedule. Okay, state testing schedule starts on March 24th. We don't have any makeup days before that. We can't do any more makeups. We're gonna go virtual the next day, or next Calamity Day that we have. Today I get a phone call, say, hey, did you realize we're not actually starting testing on the 24th when the state window opens? We're gonna wait a week. So theoretically now, the 24th, that Monday, the PD day, is now before the testing window. So therefore, I sent out an email to my staff today, and they're going to talk to students and so on and so forth to say that Monday the 24th is a makeup day if we have a Calamity Day number 6. So we're assuming that's a good possibility, looking at the weather coming up. Of course, we're in February. That's where the majority of our Calamity Days typically happen. So Calamity Day number 6 will be made up on Monday, the 24th of March, and then we'll have to figure out what to do with that professional development / work day for making up time with staff members. But that is a change in plans. And if we do have a day 7 or day 8, those will be virtual days. School calendar survey is being put together. That is something that we've already got a pretty good start on, but I wanted to ask you guys if there's anything specific you want in that calendar survey that will go out to the community throughout the year to get input on that calendar. Is there anything specific? I mean, we've got ideas of, okay, starting before or after fair, Memorial Day, how big of an issue is that, or target is that? 2 weeks at Christmas, how big of a priority is that? Those type of things. But if you guys
Put a question on there, have the people of Bradford rank, what the level of importance,
which is
education, convenience,
That's
Yeah.
good, yeah.
you'd be surprised.
okay. So certainly can do that. That might be a fun question to find out. Anything else? Okay. Head Start restroom project. I've got some pictures here. We've got the door in. They've got all the plumbing in. The inspector was actually here today and checked out the plumbing. I didn't hear from the contractor afterwards, so I assume everything went well, which means we'll start putting up the drywall and those type of things. So it's actually moving forward, which has been a long time coming. Speaking of a long time coming, a goal of mine when we started here was to have a touchscreen TV in the hallway. This kiosk was put up this week. It's not operational yet, but we're making progress. Skip is going to frame that in so it's not quite as exposed on the wall and then look a little bit nicer along with protecting it. But we're putting together, Nick Bannister last year in his classes put together a lot of the programming that's already supposed to go on there. So we'll be able to dump all that stuff in as soon as it's operational, which hopefully is in the next week or so. School calendar, you'll see a motion on tonight's agenda to adopt the school calendar that was voted on by the staff members. We had 2 go out. This is the one that was the winning calendar, so to speak. It won by about 64%, plus or minus a partial. We have to, by state law, allow a 30-day window for feedback from the community. So the way the motion is written tonight, we are accepting it with approval, of course, pending a 30-day window with no negative feedback from the community. So if we do have community feedback and it's negative before the next board meeting or even after, we'll come back, discuss, and figure out what we need to do from there. And there is the copy of the calendar, and school board members, you have a copy of it there at your desk as well. And that concludes my report unless you have questions.
Any questions? I'm sorry, Miss Maria.
I have nothing.
That was good thing I was feeling that.
No.
Thanks, Joe. Carl, do you have an update?
Just very quickly, you will be voting on an increase to the audit tonight. As a result of, we had too large an audit dollar amount for them to manage. They were not expecting it, and they went through their program and decided they needed to increase the review of it. But we have to have this completed by March 31st. I contacted them back in November, and they're just now getting to it. But hopefully by the next meeting, we'll be pretty much through the audit. I'm not expecting anything unusual, but the size of the grants we receive creates additional audit requirements that we weren't expecting. So that you'll be voting on tonight. We are through a portion of the audit for the cafeteria. That's been very interesting. I've had to create financial statements and things because we have typical accountants that are not familiar with schools auditing, and we've been pretty successful in getting through that, and I think we'll continue to be successful. And the last thing I wanted to do, and I'm doing this with a lot of brevity, you see up on the wall the America 250 official flag. We are actually a member of America 250. I have not found another school in the state that is a member, but the main reason we wanted to get involved with this was because we want to celebrate Bradford. I have a brief synopsis. That's just a small part of what went into the grant that we sent in. That's grants for $5,000, but we're going to try to get some significant historical basis on top of what's already been done, which has been marvelous, and try to work with the state and bring some notoriety to the history of Bradford. And we've contacted Dennis Baker. He's on board. I went over our grant with him, sent him a copy of it, and he has some people that we're going to expand the committee and try to do some very positive things for not only our hallway, but just a visual impression and spread the history of the area. So, and with that, I conclude my report.
Sounds great. Any questions for Carla? Thanks, Carla. Next was a public participation. Did you have anything, Joe?
Nope.
Next is financial reports from the treasurer. Carla, could you give us a high-level overview of what you'd like us to approve this evening?
Yes, typical financial journal, check register, then and now, transfers and advances, appropriation. Then we have some receipts of donations that are listed on the paper. And then continue with the donation. I have applied to the federal government because I'd like to invest some of the treasury bills, bonds, and notes directly as opposed to going through an agent. And then we have the audit increase. Then a document for Covington Savings and Loans so we can continue to do business with them, which is required for public funds. And then we've got some grants that we're applying for, the comprehensive literacy, the Ohio Attorney General, 2 grants, then a secondary education teacher prep grant, and the Miami County Foundation grant.
Thanks, Carla. A motion to accept the items presented. Thanks, Scott. And second, Maria. Any discussions or questions for Carla for approval? Hearing none, roll call for approval, please.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes. We have no old business, but new business items tonight. The superintendent recommends several items for approval. Joe, could you give us an overview of
Absolutely.
those?
You see the first one with the employment job descriptions. We do have a resignation. VJ Hunter is going to resign as a van driver. We'll have to quickly fill that one. see some tuition reimbursements for Shane Snyder and Chris Barr. We've got a doc day for Monica Skinner for her request. We've got a radio repeater that needs annual contract. K&K Tours is going to be our folks to take our kids to DC this year on November 3rd through November 6th. ELA paper testing is number 7. The course of study to be adopted is number 8. The Ohio High School Athletic Association, their typical resolution to charge us to participate in our own sports is number 9. Number 10 is the calendar conversation we just had. And then number 11 is a grant/curriculum piece that is free out there for our teachers to use. However, if we participate in the grant, it's going to give us a DC fast charger to use, but it's a 20% match. So realistically, they're going to pay for 80% of another fast charger that we could use for our buses and our van. So that's where that is. I'm not sure we're completely bought into it, but we're signed up for the preliminary stuff at this point.
Great. Have a motion to approve the items presented?
So moved.
Thanks, Trey.
Second.
Scott, thank you for a second. Any other discussions or questions regarding all those different items? Hearing none, roll call for approval, please.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
And Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Number 12 is pulled out because of not necessarily legal, but perception of nepotism.
This is approving Bill Trevino as head junior high basketball coach for 2025-26. Motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Trey, any discussion or questions? If not, roll call for approval.
Mrs. Brewer.
Abstain.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
And 13 and 14 are construction related. The first one is for Bargy Heating to help out with the HVAC stuff for our restroom in the Head Start program. And the second one is the greenhouse advertising for bids as soon as we get that information back from the engineer.
So we have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thanks, Scott.
A second.
And Maria for a second. Any discussion, questions? No. Roll call for approval, Carla.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes. Next item is a motion to enter executive session for item G1 on the agenda.
So moved.
Thanks, Maria, and a second.
Second.
Thanks, Holly. Roll call for executive session.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
6:59.
And there'll be no actions taken after the executive session. Thanks, everyone. We had exited executive session at 7:12. Can I have a motion for
I
meeting
move to
adjournment?
adjourn.
Second.
And Maria, and a second from Scott, and a third from Trey. Roll call for adjournment.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yeah.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes. Stand adjourned. Thanks everybody for their time. 7:13.
And I'll let you know.